Hi, I'm Sue.
And I'm Mel, and this is Manifesting with Mel and Sue. Today's topic is...
Getting clear on what you want.
Mm-hmm.
So...
That is definitely not one I needed last year.
I don't know how many times I have said the hardest thing about getting what you want is deciding what you want. Because a lot of times we start manifesting something and we think that we want it, and then it turns out that maybe we don't, because I don't know why. We don't know what we want. No. There have been times where you would be manifesting for a specific person, and something would happen, and I'd say, well, is that what you want? And you'd be like, I don't know.
Yes.
Yes. So what do you want, right?
Exactly. And sometimes it just takes sitting down and really putting some thought into it and being okay with, if it's not what you want, letting it go. Because sometimes, like we said in a previous video, I've had this happen, Sue's had this happen, where you put a lot of effort and work into, for example, a specific person. And then you realize, maybe I don't want this person. Maybe I don't want what I thought I did. Or, it could be anything. It could be a job. I had that happen with a job. It's okay to change your mind. You can change your mind. Mm-hmm. You can, it's not going to undo all the work that you've done. All you're doing is just shifting from, okay, I thought I wanted this person, but I don't. And then you're going to shift to, maybe this is the person I actually wanted. You're not going to undo all the work that you did here. You're just going to shift it to the new person.
Right. I would also like to say that, we're constantly manifesting everything in our lives. When we encounter something that we don't like in our life, we will often complain about it, right? And so if you're my friend and you're complaining about something, I might say to you, so what do you really want? So that I know what you should be affirming. I've done that with you before. But also, I want to apologize to you, because one of the reasons we're recording tonight is we were supposed to go out to this really cool event. Several factors happened where we didn't end up going. And I was apologizing to you, and you're like, it's not your fault. I'm like, well, it's my reality. It turns out it is my fault, because I kept thinking about it, and I was like, well, do I really want to go? And that's what it's been for the past few days.
So I want to apologize to you, because I've been in that exact state of, and this is, again, where everyone is you pushed out. Now, we hadn't talked about this very much before this video, recording it right now. So she's not aware of the fact that I was kind of on the fence about it too. And
of course you are. You're me pushed out.
Exactly. And vice versa. But I was to the point where I was like, you know what? I don't even really want to go. And I kid you not, I was thinking, you know what, I'd really rather, we had a night planned for tomorrow where we're going to get together and record our videos. And I was like, you know what, I'd really rather just do that tonight and just hang out with you. And as I'm thinking this exact thing, and I was about to text her this, she goes, let's do a plan B, and we'll just have our girls' night tonight. How does that sound? And I'm like, you literally took the words right out of my mouth. And so, it just goes to show.
Right.
We're always manifesting.
Yes. So the hardest part of manifesting is deciding what you want. If you're not getting what you want, maybe you're not being clear on what it is that you want, because that's what you need to be affirming for.
Yes.
That's what you need to be manifesting, is what it is exactly that you want.
And you will hear us, sorry to interrupt, but that is a term that we use in that you may hear in upcoming videos, is hot and cold. So if you, typically it's referred to with SPs when you're getting hot and cold behavior, but it can apply to anything.
Sure.
So when we say something like hot and cold, it's because you're getting a mix of what you want. So you're not getting exactly what you want. You get a little bit of it, and then you get what you don't want. And it's kind of like when you turn the water on, you can get hot water or cold water.
Right. But the thing is, how do you know if you're getting what you want if you don't know what you truly want? That's why you have to get clear on what it is that you actually want.
Exactly.
Like, do you want this person, or do you want this person in a specific way? Mm-hmm. Because you can have a person, you can manifest a person back, but if he's still going going to treat you the same way that he did before that caused you to not want him in the first place or to push him away, old story, then it's not going to do you any good. So you have to get really clear on, yes, I want this person, but this is how I want this person to show up. So getting off the SP topic for a minute, I just want to give a bigger story of getting clear on what you want. So you know, I'm the god of my reality. I decide everything in my reality, and you guys are all just living in it. Sorry.
Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
A little bit sorry, actually, because of the whole COVID thing. I've talked about that. But also, the last presidential election, that was on me too. So
here's you this time.
So here's what happened. So I'm not a traditional Democrat or Republican, and so the last election when Donald Trump was running against Joe Biden, I didn't care who got elected, and I was just like, I'm just not going to vote because I don't care about either one of these guys, and I don't see anybody else getting elected, so I couldn't make up my mind. Well, you know what happened?
What?
Well, the election wasn't decided right away.
Oh, that's right.
There were a few days after where they're like, we don't know who the winner is. And I was like, oh, crap, I gotta decide.
I remember you texted me on that.
Yes. And so I was like, oh, this is my fault because I haven't decided, so I just gotta pick someone. And so I decided that because I thought in my mind, if Biden got elected, then the whole COVID pandemic thing would come to an end sooner because we'd get a vaccine sooner. And maybe this is my conspiracy theory stuff. You guys can trash me in the comments if you want. This is just the way that I was thinking. So I was just like, it can be Biden. And then he got elected.
Thanks, Sue.
So you're welcome.
So yeah,
one of my friends was really upset about it. She's like, I can't believe you. And I'm like, that's how much she had faith in me that I decided it.
That's awesome. No, I absolutely agree with you on, I'm not traditional Democrat or Republican, so I was in that exact same camp of, I'm not going to vote because I didn't really care for either candidate.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
So that's an example, like, you need to get clear on what you want before you can get it.
Exactly.
Not that I wanted either one of them to get elected, but I guess I didn't have enough faith that anybody else would at the time. Or care enough to do anything about it either.
Exactly.
But yeah, so get clear on what you want. Otherwise, you may find yourself not getting much of what you want.
So I think a perfect example of that is when in one of our previous videos we were talking about money and income. So you had only been making about $18,000 a year, and you got very clear. You had a very specific number in mind, and you said, I want to be making $52,000 a year because it came out to $1,000 a week. Mm-hmm. And then it happened, and it did happen rather quickly because I remember, I've been on this journey with you, so and we share everything with each other in our manifesting journey and every other aspect of our journeys. And so I can remember kind of watching this whole thing unfold, and it was very quick, and it showed me, like, I need to get specific. Mm-hmm. And I had done the same thing where I got specific on how much I wanted to be earning monthly, and that's what I'm earning right now. And so now I'm working on manifesting, working minimal hours and making maximum income.
Yes. So get very clear on how many hours you want to be working and what amount of money you want to be making, right?
Exactly.
Because the more specific that you get, then the easier it is for it to come to you. Because how can you expect to get what you want if you don't know exactly what it is? Mm-hmm. If you're vague about it, then you don't really know what you're going to get, or it may not come to you in the way that you want. It may be open to interpretation. So like if you're manifesting money, say you want money and not like a specific thing for the money or whatever, like you should always go to the end of what it is you truly want. If you want financial freedom, see your life how you want to see it for that. But if you would like a specific amount of money, get really clear on exactly how much. I have a dollar amount that I'm manifesting, and that is the money that's coming to me in my money box. And I check my money box every day for that amount of money. Mm-hmm. And so if you get really specific, then it's very clear what has to come to you instead of just finding a dime on the ground or having money fall out of a book, which is nice, but maybe it's not exactly what you want.
No, I mean, how long can you really hold on to that manifestation for? I did it for 4 months, but then I got to a point where I was like, oh, it's not going to happen anymore. And guess what? money doesn't fall out of those books anymore, because that was the assumption that I had recreated off of the old assumption. So I had a really good thing going, and then I was like, oh, this can't happen anymore, because my logical brain decided to step in and
Silly
put in
brain.
its 2 cents, no pun intended. And so now, I mean, I know I very well could manifest that if I wanted to do it again. I very well could have done it. And I feel like if we've already done something, it makes it easier to do it again.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like if you're learning how to, do a new skill, say, I don't know, paint, because we both love to paint. If you've never painted before and you don't consider yourself an artist, it could be a little bit challenging. But if you practice it and you do it, like once you've done it, then you're like, oh, I can do this, and you do it again. And it's the same thing with, it's like working that manifestation muscle.
Yeah, I love that.
Thanks.
Any other thoughts on getting clear on what you want?
No, I think we were pretty clear in that video.
All right. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below, and like, share, and subscribe.
Don't forget, go out and manifest that dream life.